Exposing. So when I get that feeling, I want some narc-free feeling. So I want everybody to look today if they've ever received a letter from a narcissist. So you're starting to see the signs now, and now you reflect back, oh yeah, they gave me a letter once. I want you to get out that letter today and try reading it and see if even in the letter you can read about them writing down in the format of DARVO. So again, deny, attack, reverse, victim, offender. Because I guarantee in any letter that you find from them, it's going to, again, be expressed in the DARVO way. So again, the narc way. So again, they'll call the cops on you. You drank the last beer. You pick up the phone for their first time in your whole life to dial 9. They smash it out of your phone. And then it's domestic violence, but it's on you, on me. And I go to jail for 4 hours. Again, remember how delusional they are. They're probably so guilty in fear and shame. Please let her walk out. Just don't handcuff her. And then the mastermind, the manipulator, sits down at a table, angry as fuck because I drank the last beer. And again, I've never had one since. So again, the empath versus the narcissist. So strength against weak, healed against unhealed. So they'll get out a letter, 144 on the timer, and they'll use the DARVO method. And they'll say, I can't believe you won't stop beating me. And they'll tell themselves, that's why they did it. They reversed it. They did the 911 on you, which was me at that time. And they'll write it all down perfectly like a mastermind manipulator. I can't believe you won't stop beating me, honey. I don't know what I'm going to do now. And then again, they would affirm. So remember the I am. I'm not going to say it, but if they reflect back to their letter, they might have wrote they are. So I am. And then homeless. I'm going to be. And then they talk about themselves. I really wish it could have worked out with you, but you just can't stop beating me, Lynn. And then again, it's 2-3 pages of this bullshit DARVO method technique they've been getting away with murder for years. Murder on your spirit, on your health, on your finances, on your friends, everything. Because again, in the end, they brainwash the collective to the masses about how shitty of a person you and I are. But they're the big hero. And remember, in the grand scheme of things, they really are just that zero. But it takes you to put down an addiction today. It takes you to move through fear. Again, fear, false evidence appearing real, to see them for what they really are. And again, if you do have a letter from one of these people, I'd urge you to get it out today, because once you see it in the letter, once you're reading and seeing with your third eye opening now, I'm going to drop a third eye meditation in the description today so that people can start healing and seeing with the real eye. Again, the Pinocchio, the third eye. Then you have 3 eyes, and only one of them is to see the truth and everything. Once you see through the DARVO technique, the mastermind techniques, they're not really that mastermindful at all. They're actually not mindful of you. They're not mindful of me. And they'll remain stagnant, stuck in their delusion of illusions that they've now created with their word salads, their gaslighting, manipulating, triangulating, framing. And they won't ever make a change because they've now written it down in paper to make it real. So again, they have fear, shame, and guilt when they go frame you, and they're shaking inside. I'm so mad at her. She deserved it. They'll get out that pen, and they know very well what they're doing. But again, in the end, when we expose, when we stand up for what's right, and again, when somebody has that much hatred for you that they can't stop. They can't stop making your hair shorter. Again, nobody's touched it. And I haven't even seen anyone since August 1st, and my hair is just getting shorter. Like, there's the pieces back here. I can't even begin to even lift them up now at the top. They're this short. But my hair was down to here. I'm living out what I did as my childhood with a psychotic family that did the same thing to my hair back then. If you remember me from St. Jude's, I had really nice hair at one point, and then it kept getting worse and worse, just like this. So remember, in order to stop the same repeated pattern that you've lived on somebody else, we got to stop their behavior, their repeated behavior. We stop it, because they never fucking will. Because remember, their ego, their mask, only caring what strangers think about them is way more important than a family member, an animal, a real friend, and everything else besides a fake person that they don't even know, just like them. So again, they only care about somebody they don't know, and they don't know themselves. So it actually makes sense in the end. Namaste. Read between the lines and make sure you get out a letter today if you've ever had one from an ex, or you have one with somebody you're living with right now. Just sit down and study it. Even bring it out after you catch the Darvo technique in it. And again, I'll drop another content creator's method about the Darvo, so you get to really understand about these people. They're not so wonderful in the end. But it is a wonderful life after all when you see them for what they are. And it's a small world after all. It's going to be small for them because they're just not that big and mighty anymore, are they? Namaste.